Hello everybody. My name is Jamil Haddadian. I'm a SharePoint consultant and Microsoft certified professional developer and Microsoft certified trainer. I'm working with SharePoint since 10 years. I'm a very good and experienced .NET developer as well. I have a lot of articles published about SharePoint, and I have a good community contribution in Technic forums and other forums. I'm one of the founders of SharePoint user group, and of course one of the founders of UAESharepoint user group as well. Today our session, which is as you can see what's SharePoint, is our third session as UAESharepoint user group, which will be in English language as you can see. Of course, if we did this session before in Arabic 2 weeks ago, and that's our system to have one session Arabic and one session in English, and we might consider Urdu as well. Let us talk about the group that I'm representing, which is SharePoint user group. SharePoint user group, first I want to introduce this group for people who doesn't know this group. It's a newly established group by me and other pioneers in SharePoint pioneers in UAE. The purpose of this group to increase your knowledge and to connect people with each other in the UAE market. We have a lot of activities. We have online session, as you can see, is a physical session, social media activities. We will organize SharePoint Saturday, and we have a lot of activities. So I encourage everybody to like our Facebook page and join our LinkedIn group, and of course follow us on Twitter to keep posted of all the activities and events that we were doing. Okay, I'll speak louder. So I encourage everybody to join our social media platform to keep posted with everything we're doing. Okay, that's our group introduction. So regarding this session, as you know, will be for 2 hours. This session will have a webcast and slide that will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. Feel free to ask. We will answer all the questions. Feel free to ask whenever you feel that you have anything in mind. You will have this kit. I draw it here. Just you can use this button, which is the question. You can raise your hand. But I always prefer the questions to be after the demo, so that it will be easier for us to do the YouTube video manipulation, and it will be, after each demo the idea should be clear, so the questions will be more targeted. And of course, anytime you can ask your questions to uaespug@live.com. The slides will be uploaded into our YouTube channel as well. You will find the link there in the description. Okay. Okay, regarding the agenda of our work, as you know, this session assume that you don't know anything about SharePoint. It's for people to start from 100 level in SharePoint. So we will start by overview of SharePoint in general as a technology and as a history and as a product. Then we will move on to explain the SharePoint 2013 key concepts, which is organize, share, build, discover, manage. These 5 activities is the main activities that you as a SharePoint worker will go through. So we'll explain it one by one, and we will have a demo on each activity so that we can make sure that the full image is very clear for you. And we will start by explaining the first thing about SharePoint, which is the history of SharePoint. As you might know, SharePoint is a product that was first seen in the market in 2001. It was initiated by a guy called Jeff Tipper. He's one of the smartest guys in Microsoft, and he's still till now in charge of doing. He's managing this product till this moment. SharePoint was one of the most popular server in Microsoft, which started in 2001. There was two versions of SharePoint at that time, which one called SharePoint Team Services and SharePoint Folder Server. Then another version came on in 2003, which was a little bit involved, and we can see more implementations in the market at that time. After that, in 2007, which was the clear point where SharePoint achieved 1.3 billion revenue for Microsoft. At that time, when it was like everybody's, all the companies and enterprise are taking in consideration to have SharePoint as their intranet and their portals, and everybody was talking about SharePoint since this year. So 2007 considered the breakpoint in the SharePoint history. In 2010, we got also a good version of SharePoint, which started to be more like a mature development platform where we can deliver our full development projects on a very stable environment and start to be more enterprise. And finally, we end up with SharePoint 2013. SharePoint 2013 is one of the amazing versions actually of SharePoint, and it's considered the future of all the enterprise and all the websites. And you will see through this demo, we will focus more on 2013 features. You will see how amazing is this product and how easy and how efficient is to work with this product. So, after finishing the history, let us ask a very important question. What is SharePoint? That's the purpose of this session. What is SharePoint? I guess most of you have heard about this word, but is SharePoint a programming language? No, SharePoint is not a programming language like C# or a VB.NET or whatever. Is SharePoint like an application like an Office or maybe like Outlook or Word? No, SharePoint also is not an application. It's not a normal application or a suite of applications like Office or Word or Outlook. SharePoint is simply a platform. SharePoint is a platform that you can do your project over. SharePoint is not, you can't say SharePoint is SharePoint platform. That's the right word that describes SharePoint. So, SharePoint is a collection of the most used web-based solutions. Let us try to understand what's SharePoint from the beginning. Microsoft is an IT company which is interested in increasing the efficiency and the performance and the usability of the IT experience on people all over the world. So SharePoint was simply monitoring the market since 20 years, the IT market. They discovered that most of the IT projects, which is, I guess, some of us were IT, of course, most of us have an IT background. It's simply a database and some website, which is like managing, adding, deleting, updating records. So this is type of the implementation which is very common. There is another implementation that it's in the market, which is the websites. Like any website, you know, somebody want to publish the content and put it on the website. So some other people will view this website. Other implementation is like search engines. People want to have on their websites, like always, we want to have a search engine on our website that search our content, that search our documents. Other implementation, which is like something like business processes, like somebody having some simple business like a leave request where there is you submit your leave, then your manager will approve it or reject it. You receive an email after the approval. You know, Microsoft is trying to study the market patterns, and at the end, it came up with the product that's called SharePoint, which is templatizing or doing a best practice way to wrap all the business features that you can imagine in any website in this product. So you will start building your products not from the low level, like writing the code and doing the database stuff and performance and logging. You will start work from a higher level. So that's what SharePoint is all about. It is about that Microsoft tried to templatize and to have a product that you can do wherever you want in the least effort and in the easiest way. Okay. So simply, SharePoint is a server platform. It's a server platform. That means that it's not something that you can install in your client. This is not very accurate, but it's something that needs to install in a server, and more than one server as well, for building almost any web-based functionality imaginable. So you can build any web-based functionality you can imagine, you can see, and we will go through demos and we'll see how things will go. So SharePoint versions. After we know now what's SharePoint, what's the versions of SharePoint? SharePoint has the first version, which is called SharePoint 2013 Foundation. Of course, this version exists is shipped with any product. Like from 21, there is a free version and chargeable version. The free version is the core version. It's the version that's available. By the way, it's available in the Windows Server. Always you can find it in the Windows Server media, and you can download it from the internet. It has the basic features. It's amazing. It's very useful, and you can do a lot of things with the free version. Then, of course, there is another version of SharePoint which is called SharePoint Server. SharePoint Server, it has two types of version. The standard one, which is, it's higher than the free one. It's chargeable. It has a lot of features, but it's limited. And of course, as Microsoft normally do, the enterprise version. The enterprise version is the full qualified version, which has all the features of SharePoint. Of course, in the late 3 or 4 years, everybody is now talking about the cloud and start hosting their stuff in different places to get rid of the overhead of doing as I'm telling you, there is a very interaction or a very wide obsession of the cloud, and everybody is trying to move their servers in the cloud and to get rid of the overhead of the administration and to decrease the cost of the hardware and to increase the reliability and stuff like this. So there is a cloud-based version which is SharePoint Online, which we call it Office 365, which is the cloud version of SharePoint. Of course, so you have both options. It's also chargeable, but it has different licensing schema. So that's regarding the Office 365. So what do you think? What type of solutions we might do with SharePoint? That's a good question. What can we do with this SharePoint? Okay. The first and the very common type of solutions is the websites. Website is like any website, for example, whatever website that you're like a Ferrari, for example, Ferrari cars is a website that's designed over SharePoint. The Olympics website, the last Olympics website was designed over SharePoint. A lot of governmental websites in the UAE are designed through SharePoint. So the first implementation is the website of SharePoint. What other can we do in SharePoint? The second type is collaboration and portals. Here there is a new word which is portals. What do you mean by portals? Portals is a very common word or term that we use in the IT, which means, like in my case, I'm working with a company, so my manager telling me, go to the portal and apply for a leave, or go to the portal and check on this guy, is he in today or not, or go to the portal and check your email. The portal is simply, it's an interface, a website in your company that you can do all your stuff in one place. So you can apply for your leave, you can see your documents, you can see all your related services in one place. So the portal is all your services in one place. That's what we mean by the portal as a term. So SharePoint is an amazing product to develop portals, to have your service as we have in the same place, and to do collaboration. There is also another implementation for SharePoint, which is the collaboration, which is simply, you can, like most of us are working on a project, and the projects are, and the project has related documents and has, for example, tasks and has maybe discussion boards. So we can work and collaborate together to do work using SharePoint. Another interesting thing, which is the content management. When we say content management, I guess, but also if there is an IT, I guess familiar guys with, there is a concept called the web content management, which is the first type of content management, which is the web content management, which is like, if you know Joomla or maybe WordPress, or there is a lot of web content management, which is which is something that at the end give us a website, but this website is a manageable website. Like there is an administrator who's providing a content, like let us imagine like the NBC or the CNN website or Al Jazeera website, where there is a content that this content needs to be filled by somebody and needs to be reviewed, and then it will be published and pushed through a deployment scenario so that everybody can access this website and see it. This is the web content management concept. And there is also, when we talk about content management, we talk about the document management, which is simply a document, like a company, like a lawyer firm, which has a lot of documents. They need to manage those documents, to collaborate all that check in, check out, manage the versioning of the documents, manage the permissions of the document, the archiving and policies and retention. The document management system also, there is a lot of in terms of document management system, and SharePoint is one of the most powerful document management systems. SharePoint also is a good platform to do BI. What's the BI? BI is the business intelligence. Business intelligence is simply its abstraction, the details to higher management people to see to be able to take decisions, which is, in other words, you know, CEOs and CFOs and important people, they don't have time to dig through details in everybody or in every data area. So they prefer to see images. Images or photos and pictures are more descriptive and less effort to abstract and take decision. So the BI is simply the charts, the pies, the KPIs that the higher management that can see as a reporting system over the details to take decisions. So that's the BI. SharePoint is a very amazing tool to do a BI also. Another thing is business process. Business process management is, of course, simply like the example that I've just talked about, which is the leave request. The leave request is something you want to go and to have some leave. You go to a form, fill your data, submit your leave, your manager will approve it or reject it, then the HR will approve it or reject it or whatever. Most of the businesses all over the world, it's about processes, it's about workflows. So SharePoint is a good platform to host this workflow and to apply your logic in the least effort available. So, not finally, the search is also one of the most powerful features that's used by SharePoint. What we mean by search is an enterprise search. I guess everybody is familiar with Google. Google is the place where if you want to search for something, you go to Google, you type the word or the phrase you wanna search, and you get the results. The enterprise search is something similar to the idea of Google or Bing, but it is inside your company, so that you can go to this portal and you will find the search box, and you search all your documents, you search all your documents, and you search, for example, the items, you search the people which are around, and you get the data. So there is like a crawler, or there is an indexer that crawl the documents and the content in your company, so that you can search it and have more accessibility on the data. Finally, the social media. The final and very interesting feature in 2013 is the social platform and the social computing feature, which is now embedded in SharePoint. Simply, the social media is something. Just imagine that there is a product like something like Facebook or something like Twitter that's embedded in SharePoint. Like now in your SharePoint, you have your own profile. You can write your stuff. People can like follow you. People, you know, imagine that we brought a product like the social media product and put it inside SharePoint. There is a good question here. Social media, it's an enterprise social media also. It's a social media inside your company. But maybe you can ask me why I need to social media. Most of the companies, they are blocking Facebook and blocking stuff. Why I need to have social media inside my company? Social media is the future of the productivity in the enterprise. Why is that? You know, if you want to talk to somebody, you can grab the phone and call him. If you want to talk to 4 or 5 people, you can drop them an email. But if you want to talk to everybody, there is no convenient way but the social. You can go to your feed, and you can write your status, and everybody can read this status. It's like giving a mic for every employee in the company, so that the employees will have the ability to express themselves, to express their interest. They will know each other. They communicate more and more, so they will understand each other more and more. So they start working in a teams, so that you will reach to a point that your employees in the enterprise will exceed their job titles and start working with stuff that they like and they want to produce, and they want to show off maybe in front of the management, and they want to help others to do things. And this will increase you will get the most of the 8 hours that your employee is sitting on his office by including the social media in your company. So that this slide was talking about type of solutions that SharePoint can be the most common solutions that we do SharePoint for. Okay, so after discussing the types of SharePoint, now what's the scenarios or the user scenarios that we can see SharePoint like? Okay, the first and the most common scenario of SharePoint, which is the intranet way of the solution. What's the intranet? When we say like go to the intranet and upload the document, or intranet is a very common word. Intranet, it means that your portal or your website, your SharePoint is accessible only through the company, through the boundaries of the company, through the LAN of your company. That's what we mean by intranet. So nobody from people on the internet will not be able to access your implementation or website from all over the internet. The second type is the internet, which means that everybody and all over the world can enter this SharePoint. Like if we take, for example, as I said, like a website like Ferrari website, you can go now and type in Google Ferrari, and you can see this website. The website maybe is hosted in a different place in the world, and you are here, for example, in UAE or in Jordan or in India, and you can see this website. So this is the internet website or internet usage of SharePoint. The third thing is a mixture between both two things, which is the extranet. It is something that's accessible from all over the world, I mean through the internet, but it's not anonymous access. It's not. You need to have a credentials. You need to be authenticated in this portal to be able to log in and use this portal. So it is an internet implementation, but it's restricted for people who are doing. So these are the three user scenarios of SharePoint. Okay. After we see the usage of SharePoint, the user scenarios of SharePoint and types of solution, let us see how we do the customization simply for SharePoint. There is a lot of wide range of tools that can do SharePoint customization. Of course, because you're working with Microsoft product, Microsoft is not a company that has one product and that's it. Microsoft is a platform itself. It has a competition in all the areas of the products and the IT products. So you will see that you can customize SharePoint in maybe hundreds of ways. But mainly, you can do customization. The main way to do customization is through a browser. Imagine that you can create a website or 3 or 4 websites by 3 or 4 clicks through your web browser, through Internet Explorer or through Firefox or Chrome or whatever. The second way that you can manage your SharePoint is through Microsoft Office Suite. Of course, SharePoint in 2003, by the way, it used to be part of Office team. So SharePoint is a very compatible product with Office. So you can do your work through Word, and you can publish it direct to the SharePoint. You can do a lot of work through Excel, through PowerPoint. So Office is one of the also a very common tool to do customization. SharePoint Designer, it's the product that used to code in the past in 2003 front page, which is the product that used to be to handle the HTML and stuff like this when it was dedicated for HTML. But after that, in 2007, 2010, it started to be more specific for SharePoint. So they stopped calling it front page and start calling it SharePoint Designer. But after that, the last product, the SharePoint Designer, it's a product that you can do whatever you want from the browser. You can do it from the application. You still can do the design, but you can do a lot of amazing things. Like you can create workflows, you can create lists, create columns, do a lot of things. Visual Studio. Visual Studio is the developers and the geeks tool, which is the tool that you write product with. Okay. First of all, as you will see, you can do a lot of things using SharePoint, but out of the box from the interface or whatever. But if there is some requirements which can't be achieved from the easy way, which is the web browser or the SharePoint Designer or whatever, you can use Visual Studio to write your codes and do whatever customization you want. Web Design Tool. Web Design Tool is any web design tool like Dreamweaver or any HTML editing tool that it's compatible with SharePoint seamlessly, and you can do a lot of work with a lot of design and UI stuff with web design tools. The last one is PowerShell. PowerShell is it's like the commandlet, or you know when you go to the run and type CMD, you get the command screen. PowerShell is the new or the nice command screen, the nice command version of the command prompt, which is something introduced in 2008. For every product of Microsoft, there is a PowerShell since that time. Why? To make it easier and to make it maybe more programmer-oriented or more object-oriented way of typing commands and do a lot of things. So you can also create, for example, a site using a command line, okay, which is amazing. Of course, the last thing is open source and third parties. SharePoint, as you know, there is something called Codeflex. I guess maybe the developers or people who are working with Microsoft is maybe familiar with this concept. Codeflex has a lot of tools that you can do that's developed by the community, like people like me and like, for example, Muawiyah, one of the members of your UAESharepoint group, has a tool there. So it's a tools that you develop and everybody can use to do some productivity actions. Another thing, there is a lot of international companies who has their own products to do like SharePoint, like Dell, Quest. I mean, they have products that are built on over SharePoint to do a lot of stuff, to do customization and so on. So till this moment, we complete discussing the theoretical part of SharePoint. Of course, SharePoint is a very big technology. We need maybe months to talk about it, to cover all its aspects. But the target of our session is to reach to a place where there is a sense of what's SharePoint. If somebody is talking about SharePoint, you understand. You can, if you are like a technical guy, you can see that, okay, this project seems to need SharePoint. To know what's SharePoint, that's the purpose of this demo. So this is the first time we're in front of a SharePoint website. This is a very default, or when you create a new website in 3 seconds, you will get this interface that you can see right now. So as you can see, like any website that you can see, there is a content, which is the biggest part of the page. And you can see at the top, there is a top navigation where you can navigate, or they call it the main navigation. And in your left-hand side, you will see the left navigation. The left navigation, or they call it in other words, a quick launch, which is the places where you can navigate through your website. As you can see here, there is the logo, which is on this side. And can just a moment, please. I want to just open my preferable tool for demos, which is the Zoom It. It is an amazing tool. Actually, if you don't know it, you should go and Google it, Zoom It. Okay. So here, there is the logo of the website, which is like any website, there should have a logo. And on this side, you can see that there is something which we call the ribbon. The ribbon is, I guess people familiar with Office, they know what's the ribbon. Here is the ribbon, which is it's a context-sensitive place where you can do your tasks. Like, for example, if you click in somewhere in the content, the ribbon will change to accommodate with the proper command. So here is, for example, this button, we will see how we use it to manage this page. You can, of course, you can see that you can edit this page from here. You can sync this page or this site with a local folder at your place. You can follow this page. You can share, of course, your page. And here is the most important button, which is the button that we will use a lot in this session, which is the settings button, which is the place where we can manage the settings of SharePoint, and of course, previewing the sessions and preview the content of this website. We will see all this in details in our demo. So let us start our demo. Okay. Okay. So the first demo will be the user interface. Before I start the demo, you have 2 ways of installing SharePoint, as you remember. There is if you remember the versions of SharePoint, there is something called the enterprise or standard one, which is you do it locally on your machine. And there is another thing, which is the cloud. So this demo was built all over the cloud, which is in Office 365. Okay, so I will log into Office 365, as you can see, and we will see how I can do. Here is the Office 365. By the way, we will have a dedicated session for Office 365 next week, after 2 weeks. So just starting from this point. And Office 365 is a place where Microsoft gives you SharePoint, Link, Exchange, where you can, and another, of course, there is another products, but according to my subscription, that's the service that I get from the cloud. Here I go to the SharePoint administration, and I want to now create a site. And before going and create a site, I want to try to make this demo like more practical and more entertaining for people. So I imagine that I am a person or an administrator who am working with a law firm. This law firm has some specific requirements for me. They want a site where they can, a big site for the employees, which are, of course, they are lawyers, and there is lawyers and there is marketing people. These lawyers work on cases, so they want a website for cases, and the marketing people and the sales people, they want a website for marketing. And they want the homepage to be nice and to be attractive, where there is the mission and vision of this firm. They want that place where they can store the document libraries, where they can store the cases so that they can refer it back in the future if they want to archive it or whatever, do whatever. They want also, the salespeople want a place to store their customers and the leads where they can do marketing for this firm. There is an announcement list where HR people will use it to announce something about the dress code or the parking policy or whatever HR announcements for the company. And there is two groups of people, the lawyers and the lawyer here is wrong, and the salespeople. So, and each group has its own permissions. And of course, the employees want to share and collaborate, as you can see here, and share information and socialize with each other and do microblogging. And finally, things should be searchable. It's very important, especially in the lawyer firms, to be able to search for history cases, because it's the most important thing. The experience of the lawyers came from the previous cases. So that was like a scenario that I want to just propose quickly, and we will, in our scenarios, we'll go step by step and try to create this website. So at the end, at 10 o'clock, we will have a very an amazing interface. Sorry, not 10, 9:30. We will have amazing implementation, as you will see in a very small clicks. So at the beginning, I will go to this administration interface, and I will start creating the website. So I will click on new, click private site, because this site is only for the law firm. It's not an internet website. It's just for people here, for the Active Directory people. So I will call the company's name is Justice. Okay, so I will call it Justice 1, just for Justice Test. Okay. Okay, here I will see a list of templates. We will go through this detail later on. It's like templates for this website. What do you want? A team site, a blog, a developer site, project site. I will select team site and go through this details later on. Then I will select the time, of course, the time of my place, which is I'm now living in Abu Dhabi. So I will select +4. The administrator, I will add my test administrator, which is Muawiyah. And I will add storage quota, which is what's the maximum size that I'm allowing my site to increase, to reach. Or because I'm limited, because this is a Microsoft subscription, I'm limited with this amount of storage in the cloud. Okay, that's perfect. So now I will click OK, and I'm creating now the website, which is the Justice website. Okay, as you can see here down, site is creating. As you can see, the site is creating right now. Just a moment after it's refreshing. Oh, it seems that Microsoft websites are slow today. Okay, where is it? Oh, server is busy. Okay, it's a free subscription, so it's okay. Okay, creating this website will take like maybe 10 minutes or something. So I already created a website which is already there. Okay. Okay, it seems sometimes some problems happen in the cloud. It's okay. Anyway, we'll get back after maybe 1 or 2 minutes. Things should be okay because sometimes that happens anywhere. Okay, so so that was the interface that I'm trying to propose. We will go through the rest of this demo in the next demo. So getting back to our subject, uh, the main thing that we're trying to here is the main objects that SharePoint is all about. SharePoint is about 4 things. You build sites and you manage sites and you organize your sites, you share your sites, and you socialize over your sites. So we have the first thing is site. The second thing is apps. Apps is the functionality of your website. Okay, as you know, apps is a concept that's newly introduced for apps. Is like if you wanna like install an app in your iPhone or on your Android, or if you wanna install an app in your Windows, it's adding a new functionality to your mobile. So it's the same concept here. There is SharePoint App Store. You can develop your own app. You can get these apps from the SharePoint App Store, and you can add this functionality to your SharePoint. There is something free, something chargeable, and you can, as a developer, if you are a developer, you can develop your own app for your company. The third thing that SharePoint all about is people. People, which are people who are actually members of who are the employees of this company. They are inside some storage place like Active Directory or whatever, and they are collaborating with each other. They have their permissions and their stuff, and they have their own profiles. So that's about people. And the fourth thing is the theming. Theming is the way that it's about the UI, how you present your SharePoint. It's of course it's about managing the images and the CSS classes and some UI engineering stuff and master pages and whatever. But it's all about how you present your data. So these are the 4 main objects of SharePoint as a SharePoint. So the key concepts of SharePoint, which is managing these 4 objects, we have the following set of activities. We build our websites, we build our themes, build our apps. After building our apps, we will manage our apps and manage our sites and things. Then we will organize things to manage how things will look and how things will interact with people and how I will present my data. Then I will be able to share this data between each other and do microblogging and share stuff between the people and share the apps and share functionality. And finally, you can do a discover, which is all these stuff are searchable. That's the list of activities that are done on the sites and people and apps and team. So think about all these things as a very powerful platform. Like, let us go for example for document management system. You build your site, you add your document library, you store your documents, and these documents are permission driven. Some people are allowed to see a group of documents, others allowed to see different group of documents. You can have an apps that do some specific functionality over those documents. You can share documents with each other. Like if you want to share your document with another colleague in your company, or share it with somebody in the cloud, or for example in different location, and you can have a search engine over all those. So everything together will give you the best feature, the amazing feature that you can expect from any full platform like SharePoint. So our demos will be like build, manage, organize, share, and discover. We will build our scenario, which is a law firm, and go through these steps one by one to make sure that everything will be clear and good. Okay. So the first step is building. As we say, we build sites, we build people, build apps, and build teams. Okay. There is a very, very interesting and important concept in SharePoint, which is out of the box. What do you mean by out of the box? SharePoint people knows what's out of the box. Out of the box is the way that you do features in SharePoint, or you implement and deliver your solutions without typing any line of code. That's what we mean by out-of-the-box solution. It's always an indicator of how successful is your SharePoint project. As less code as you're using, that means that SharePoint is your right option. As more code and more customization you're using, that means that you're not utilizing the SharePoint. So out of the box, so your solution should be delivered out of the box like 80% and 20% customization and stuff. So the first thing is building your solution is out of the box solution, which represents the component and feature shipped with the product. The second thing is custom. The custom solutions, which are the WSP and the apps. It's an advanced development topic, and where you need to open your Visual Studio and start writing the XML and the C# code and other stuff to satisfy your features. When building a site, this is a very important slide. SharePoint is a group of more than one functionality. So when you you create a SharePoint site, as you can see, when we build our site from the portal, we have the following options: team site, blog site, project site, community. It's like a template of the site according to your need. Okay, so you select one of those templates. As you can see, we select the team site in the previous demo, and you will see now how things will go on. So after you build the site, like you can have the following structure for your site. Like you have a portal, you have under this site there is 4 subsites: HR, finance, media center, and search. Under the HR there is blog and subsite, and under the media center there is news and photography. It's like a building sites together. So let us go with the demo to build site. Hopefully things will be okay on the server side, in the Microsoft cloud. Okay. Okay. So I guess things should be okay. That's perfect. Things should be okay. Okay. Okay, guys. As you can see, here is our SharePoint site, which we built right now, if you remember. Okay. Actually, I added those documents by my hand because they will be for some demo, because I want to do some search and some stuff. So just forgive me for those documents. Other than this, everything is clear. This is the first time. Okay. So as you can see in the site, there is the logo is here. Here is the right navigation, and here is the top navigation. So, for example, if I go here, I can navigate through my site. As you can see, the most important button, as I told you, which is this button. Okay, I want to focus on this button, which is the most frequent place that you will use when you're using SharePoint. You can use it for previewing the site content, as you can see. So my site has 6 objects, which is the default template that I've selected, which is documents, form templates, site pages, assets, macro, speed, and site library. And of course, I can manage my settings through clicking the settings. So there is a very important places here, which is the site content and the site setting. These are the most places where we visit when we're working with SharePoint. Okay. So as I told you, this is out of the box website that we built like in seconds. Okay. So let us go through the steps of our demo. Now, as you remember, we have a law firm which has 2 subsites. The first site is for cases, where lawyers want to put their cases, and the second site is for the sales, where they want to manage their contacts and the clients and leads. So let us start. I will go and create a site. How I can go and create a site? I will preview the content, as you can see here, and down I have a new subsite. So I will build a new subsite. The first new subsite, I will call it cases. So this is a site under my site. Okay. Here it's very important to understand the structure. Here is my web application structure. Here is the site collection, which is just this, which is the name of the law firm. And here I will put the link of the subsite, which I'll call it cases. Sorry, which I'll call it cases, of course. I will select the team site. Sorry, because the cases will be a document management system. So I will select a template which is document center, where it will create a document for me which has the needed permissions and the needed stuff for me. Okay, so now I created the first site, which is the cases site. Okay, that's perfect. The second site that I want to create is for the marketing. I will call it marketing site. So I will go again to the site content. As you can see, we have now the cases site. I will go and create another site, which is the marketing site. Okay, that's perfect. And of course, it will be the same, it's parallel to the previous link. And this one, I will make it team site. Okay, and I will go down and I will click OK. And as you can see, I'm not going through all the details of the SharePoint because I just want to, it will take a long time to go through details. So I just want to make that you have the sense of SharePoint rather than understanding all the details, because that's the target of our webcast today. Okay, that's perfect. So I have the following two subsites, which are the cases and the marketing subsites, which is perfect. Okay. So that's how I build sites. As you can see, in very easy, in 2 clicks or 3 clicks, I can build one site. Okay. And I also can, as you can see, more than site, I can build also lists and libraries and apps. There is something called lists and libraries in SharePoint. SharePoint is all about lists. Everywhere we have lists and items. Lists is a place where you think about it like a record place where you can record 1, record 2, record 3, and so on. Libraries are also records, but it's a special type of the list, which is a records, but there is an attachment with this record. Like if we want to store document, we go to libraries. If we want to store like a contacts list, we can go to libraries. Okay, here there is a question. How can I make this site as justice.com or justice.ae? Okay, I will answer you. I don't know, your name is very long actually, my friend. But I will answer you. It is all of his question is how can I make the site the justice.com or justice.ae? It's not about SharePoint. It's about modifying. You need to make sure that you have this domain name and you register it and you pay for this IP, and you need to just to put it as in your DNS, and it's a network issue more than SharePoint. That's it, my friend. Okay, it's not about SharePoint. It's an infrastructure or network thing. Is that okay? Okay, thank you. Okay, so in this. So as we say, lists and libraries. So libraries are instances of lists, but they are with attachments. So apps are a functionality which is introduce a new functionality to our website. So lists and libraries are considered also functionality. So when we add a functionality, we'll see that we will add an app of type list. We'll add an app of type library, and we will see this through the demo. So if you remember from our demo for the law firm, they asked me to do the following in my law firm. They want me to add an announcement list where they can put announcements so that all the employees can see this announcement. They also asked me to add some specific functionality, which is there is something, because it's a law firm, there is a very famous group of lawyers in the world where they have their own blogs and write very interesting articles. My company wants my employees and my lawyers to read these articles. So they want to embed this functionality, which is a WordPress reader, to my website. So I can either develop this myself, or I can go to the marketplace and download an add-in that do this for me. So that's the second requirement. The third requirement, my marketing team, they asked me to create a contacts and leads list. They are marketing my company, so they want to have a full list of the contacts and their telephone number and their specialties to do some analysis and to do the marketing work. So I will go with the requirements one by one. So the first thing, I want to add an announcement list to my website. Let us see how do we do this. Of course, I will go to the most important button as I'm telling you, which is this button, and I will go to Add App. Okay. I will call this list. There is a predefined, because I know SharePoint, there is a predefined list called announcement. It's a list template called announcement. So I will go and click on this announcement, and I will call it official HR announcement. Okay. Now I create a list of announcements. As you can see, you can see it from the content. So if I go to this and go to site content, I will see that this list is designed here. Okay, that's perfect. So I built the first list or the first app. The second thing, the WordPress thing. Okay, back to our website. There is as I told you, I wanna include some nice bloggers from the WordPress and include them to my homepage. Okay, that's perfect. So I will go and add a new app. Okay, I will go and try to search on this app. Maybe it's WordPress. Oh, I already downloaded from the website, from the market. Okay, so now it's here, a part of my templates. So I will add this BCS web app. This is an app that's developed by this guy. So this app, it's like any app. Sorry, which is this guy. So I will select this app. So here he's telling me, do you trust this app and so on? I will tell, okay, I'm trusting this app. And so I have this app now inside my camera. It's downloading from the App Store, as you can see here. It's downloading. It will take maybe less than one minute to finish downloading this app. Okay, so now I added this app to my company. I'm still now building my stuff. Okay, now it's done. The third thing in the marketing side, which is I will go to the marketing, they want me to add a list, a custom list, which will maintain the records of the customers. So how can I do this? Again, I will go to this magic button and I will add a new app, and I will add something called custom list. As you can see, it's one of the very famous templates, which is custom list. Think about this custom list as a table. I will call it as a table, the database table, something similar then. I would call it the client list. Okay, now I'm creating the client list. The client list, as you can see, every list in SharePoint, if you go to this list and try to add a new item, for example, you will have just one item, which is the title. But no, they ask me for specific fields for this item. Okay, so how can I modify this this template or add more columns? I will go to the ribbon. You remember the ribbon? Because I'm selecting this list, there is in the ribbon, the sensitive context ribbon, there is something called list, as you can see here. And there is a very important place, which is create a new column. I will click and create new column to add new column. So they asked me to create something. There is a title is already there. And I will create, the second thing is the location. Where is this client? So this one is the type choice, as you can see. There is a lot of types here. It's self-explanatory types. You can just go through them. So the whole place of the office of this client, for example. Here I can specify is it required or not. Here enforce uniqueness or not. Here I can put the choice. It's like a lookup. So I will put Dubai, Abu Dhabi, which are the list, for example, Sharjah. Okay. And I do want it a drop-down list, ready button, or checkbox. I will go for drop-down list and autofill, whatever. If I want a default choice, I can do choice here. I can add some validation, but I will not go through details. Here I added the first. The second field they wanted me to add is the business area. Which is, for example, this client is working for IT, this client is working for medical, this client is working for whatever, so that they can do some research over it. So the areas are, for example, information technology, medical, and anything else, trading, for example, or whatever. Okay, so, and I will keep everything as defaulted. The second field, the third field they wanted me to add is the focal point. The focal point is the guy from my company who's managing this guy. I mean, who's managing this account. Okay. So this time I will use a type person. Person is a person which is there in the Active Directory. That's what I mean by person. It's a person that I would pick. So required, yes, it is required. Enforce uniqueness, no. Allow multiple selector, no. Allow select only people or groups, and I will select this focal point. And finally, I will add notes or which is a multiple line. Okay. Okay, I will add. So that if I, as you can see, if I want to add a new item, I will have, for example, I will add one of the companies, for example, Cubic Art. The location is in Abu Dhabi. And the business area is information technology. The focal point is one of the guys who's, I will select Reem. Reem is one of the guys which is added to my portal. And for example, okay, potential, for example, client with us. Okay, that's perfect. So that's how we add this list. Okay, that's regarding building a custom list. Okay, that's perfect. So now we're done from building the main criteria, the main things of the demo. If anybody has any question, please feel free to ask, or if you have any comment, anything, please feel free to ask after the demo. Anybody want to also speak, or I can give you the mic? Okay, perfect. So let us move on to the other point. After finish building the website, now we will go and start managing our objects, managing our site, the people, the apps, and themes. Okay, what do we mean by manage the site? We have, first of all, as you can see, there is a very important thing, which is users and permissions. Users and permissions are simply, you know, we have documents, we have sites, we have contacts. As you can see, we don't want all the users to see everything. We need to prevent some user from seeing something. And we not only this, we need to give specific. So this user have only read access. This user have contributor access. This user have a full control access. So user and permissions, we will manage. We will see this on the demo. We will see the look and feel. We will see how to change things from the design perspective, change the themes, change things. We will have a quick look on the site actions. Okay, Muhammad. Thank you for attending. Okay, that's perfect. Other than this, we can go and see. We will see how to administer this website and how to configure the search. Let us go through our demo and see how do we do this. Back to our story, guys. Okay, now back to my website. I'm having a very interesting website which has this interface, but as you can see, the interface is not that nice. So I want to try to change something. Okay. First of all, this thing is the startup, like, you know, getting started with SharePoint. I don't like it. I want to remove it. Now it is removed. Okay, that's perfect. So I also want to apply a new design, apply a new theme. Let us see how easy it is to apply this theme. We want to apply the theme when I manage our site. What we want to go? We want to go to this magic button and go to site settings. In the site settings, there is a lot of things that I want to do. I can do in the look and feel. I can change the title, logo, change whatever. I will go and change the look. Look how easy and how amazing it is to change the look and feel of your website. Here's a predefined templates for my website, for SharePoint, as you can see. So I will select just one that fit to my need. Like I'm working with a law firm, so I guess the black color is good. Here I can change the, as you can see, I'm controlling the master page from this side. Okay. So I will try it again. I will try to see how good is this design. Now SharePoint is applying this design to my site. I have always the option to roll back, but as you can see, I can I don't want it, or keep it. No, I guess it's good, fair enough. So I will keep it. So as you can see, I did the branding in a second, as you can see. So what else I can do? As you can see, the icon here is not that good. So I will try to change this icon. How can I change this icon? Of course, from the site actions, site settings, and I will go to title, description, and logo. And as you can see here, I can change the title, I can put some description for my site. I want to change my logo. So I will pick a logo from my computer. I already prepared some logo which I feel that's compatible with my demo. So I will go to temp folder on my C, and there is something called site logo. Okay, I will upload it, as you can see, and that's amazing. So it's more fit for this logo. Okay, that's perfect. So what else they asked me? They asked me to have a nice homepage. Do you think this homepage is nice? No, I don't think so. So look, how can we edit the page? We either go to the ribbon from here and click edit this page. Look how easy it is to edit this page. First of all, I want to check out this page to make sure that nobody is playing with this page but me. Show everybody that I'm reserving this page, and then I click edit. Once I click edit, I can have the facility to remove whatever. So for example, I want to remove these documents. Okay, delete. I remove this part of this page. I want to remove, for example, this. That's perfect. Okay, I want to add some vision and mission of my company. My company's name is Justice. We want to introduce ourselves to the market, or to the employees, I mean. So we are Justice. We guarantee your rights. There is some nice text here. Okay, and I also want to add some movement, some stuff here. I can insert, as you can see from the ribbon, insert picture from my computer. To have more, maybe better design, I will add this one. Okay, it's a very big image actually. Don't do this in reality, guys. Just try to figure out the right size, because this will affect the performance of your website. Okay, that's perfect. So I'm done. I guess that's a good website, a good homepage right now, as you can see. And I can check my work in, and for example, the homepage baseline. It's always nice, right? When you check in, it's always good to. That's my new implementation, as you can see. Okay, that's perfect. So what else I can do? Okay. So let me go to the cases website. Okay, let me preview go to the cases website and see what I want to do there. And here in the cases website, I want to view all site settings to the cases. I want to have, as you can see, the branding is it's not branded. I will go and do the branding again. It's good to do stuff again and again so that you can see how easy, and you can keep this in mind. Of course, I can apply this design from the top side to the lower side, but I'm not doing this because I have my own reason. Okay. Just I want to brand this site to make sure that everything is consistent. Okay. Meanwhile, if you have any question or any comment, please feel free to ask. Yes, keep it. I'm okay. Okay, that's perfect. So here I want to So here in my case, in the document, I want to also edit this page. Edit this page. And I want to add the document. You remember we added a document. There is a document in our site. Okay. So which is the cases site. And I want to add this document as a link to the home page, to link this document with the home page. How can I do this? I can add a web part, as you can see. And here there is a document in the root site, in my site. I can add it, and as you can see, here is the new, the subsite. This is the cases subsite. In the home page, there is a document, which is a link for the document, which is in the room. Yes. Oh, yeah. Venkin asked about, he is asking me how to localize this site like in Arabic or multilingual. Localization is an advanced topic here. It can be done very easy, but we might consider having a session for localization, by the way. If you are interested, you can just contact us, and if there is more than one interested in doing the localization, we can give you a very nice and quick tips for you to do localization in SharePoint. Okay, but you know, localization is a little bit complex step. It needs its own it needs like 2 hours to explain the full picture. Okay, so but it can be localized in Arabic. Okay, that's perfect. So here, for example, we have this document library. So I will just show you how I can add some stuff to this document library. As you can see, here I have some documents that I prepared. I can just easily drag and drop these documents to this document library. Look how easy I can upload stuff. It's fully HTML5 supported platform. And as you can see, I just dragged and dropped stuff, and I filled these documents very easy, as you can see. Okay, that's perfect. That's amazing, actually. Okay. So the very important thing now we want to consider, which is the managing the permissions. Let us get back to the home page. One of the main important aspects in SharePoint, which is the permission management. The nice thing is about permissions is that it's very similar to the Windows platform, the Windows Explorer way of managing things, which is simply you can go to site settings and you can do the following. There is something called people and groups. You can click on groups, and I want to create 2 new groups. Okay, the first group, which I will call the lawyers, okay, which contains the active lawyers and justice law firm. That's good. Okay, here is some. Okay, and I will add another group which called the marketing, which of course contain the marketing people. Okay, so now I created 2 groups. Okay, so if I go to my groups, I will see a default created groups, which I wanna remove. I don't know. I can't edit the group. Okay, regardless, here is the default groups, and I have my new 2 groups, which are the first one is the lawyers, the second one is the marketing group. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so after creating these 2 groups, we will let us get back to the demo and see where we have also. Okay, so we did a management for some site. We did some themes, play with a little bit with the themes and with the UI, and we added the new groups to our site. But still, we did not fill this group with people, and we did not assign these groups to people. Okay, that's perfect. And now we will go through manage apps, listings, libraries, and apps. Here we can do a lot of things with lists. For example, in our list, we can change the name of the list, change the navigation, versioning over the list and document libraries, advanced settings where we can manage like content types and some advanced stuff. We can delete our list. We can save list as template if we like this template, for example, and so on. So we can do a lot of things in managing our list. Okay, so let us see what can we do in our list. In my case, they asked me to make sure that the cases document library is version, which means that if any user modify anything on this document, version should be maintained. So I will go to the cases website, and I will go to the view all site content of this subsite. As you can see, there is something called documents where I drag drop the things. And in this document library, as you can see, I want to modify the settings. How can I do this? I go to the ribbon, and there is something called library settings. In the library settings, I can manage a lot of things. For example, I can rename this list. I can do a lot of stuff. And going through all the details will take a lot of time. I just want to give you the sense of how you manage things. So here, for example, I will go and manage the version settings. They asked me to have to configure the versioning. So, for example, I will tell them for every major version, create a version and keep only 10 versions to make sure that the content database is small. Just keep 10 versions of this document for every document. And after that, for example, if we have 11 versions, delete the oldest one and so on. So now I configured the versioning for the cases document library. Okay, that's perfect. What else they asked me? Also, you remember the WordPress app that we've just added? We need also to do some configuration on this WordPress app, which is I want to add, as you can see in this WordPress app, if I click on it, every app that's downloaded from the App Store has its own interface, which gives us like how to administer this website. So I want to add the new blogger, which is the very famous lawyer, which I want to read from his blogs. So as default, there is 2 bloggers, as you can see, they're added here. I want to add a new item to this. I'm configuring now the new app. Add a new link to make sure that this app will grab those users for me. Okay, that's perfect. So adding a new item. Okay, I will add my blog. Okay, which is www. I'm trying to promote myself in some way. Okay, so I'm adding my blog. That's perfect. So now I configured the app. So now, as you can see, I can manage the lists, manage the library, manage the sites, and of course, I can manage. Okay, so that's perfect. Now I configured this site. So let us move and continue with our demo. So after building our work and managing our work, now we'll go to the third step, which is the final step, which will finalize a lot of things, which is organize. Organize is happening as the following. There is a very important concept that you need to understand, which is the site pages. And you know, at the end, it's a website. Website is all about displaying pages. Pages are there to be created and edited and customized. As you can see, we could add some web parts, we can delete some pages, we can rename pages, change the style of the pages. And there is 2 types of pages. The first type is the standard page, which contains the text, images, or the web part. As you can see, the home page, we could add some images, some text, some stuff. The second type is a web part page. The web part, which is, you know, the custom functionality that we want to add, or maybe the web part like the out-of-the-box web part that we add for the documents. If you remember, in the cases, we add a document to the home page, documents to the home page as a web part. So web part enable author to customize a SharePoint page to display content or business data for many sources. So the web part is a place where we can display our custom data or whatever. Okay, so that's regarding organizing the page. We have also something very important that we need to understand, which is the views. The views, which is something for the lists. You can have different views for your list. For example, in my case, I have the contacts or the clients list. I can have different way of viewing the items. I can do filtration. I can do sorting. I can do also grouping for my items. Okay, so let me see how we can do this in demo. Okay. Okay, let us go to the demo. Okay, guys. Back to the website. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. First of all, I don't know, do you like this navigation? I don't like this navigation. Look how easy to modify this navigation. If there is an ASP.NET developers, maybe they will see how it's like it's not difficult to change this in ASP, but I mean it's very easy. Like end user can play with navigation. So look, as I can see, I dropped all the navigation. Now I want to add just two items, which are the cases and I'm now in the home page. I just want to have cases in the main navigation, as you can see, and I want to have another link, which is the marketing, which is fair enough. So here is an example of how we modify our navigation. I'll modify the presentation. Say, look how easy. In less than 10 seconds, I could modify the navigation. You can imagine how difficult is that if you want to do it in your, using .NET or any other application. Okay. And now we need to make sure that cases are accessible only from the lawyers, because lawyers will put the cases and write down the cases, and the marketing is only accessible by the marketing group. But marketing can't see the cases, but they can't edit it. But lawyers are not interested at all with the marketing. So let us see how we do the security. Now we're managing the security of our groups. Okay. Before everything, we need to fill the groups. So let us see how we add users to the groups. As you can see, Muawiyah is already added because he's the owner of this group. I will add our lawyers, which is Yazan and Reem and Jamil. And look how easy it is to add users. These are users that are there in Active Directory, okay? And Imad. Okay, so those users are added now to the lawyers group. Other thing, which is marketing, I will add the marketing team to here, which is, for example, there is Sahar. That's all. So I added users to the group. Look how easy it is to add users to group. SharePoint provide, like, instead of having role provider, membership provider, you can have all this thing easily, and it's accessible through the object model, by the way, and things are okay. Okay. So how can I assign those users to the website? Okay. Now we'll go to a new place under the user and permissions, and now we were already on the people and groups. Now we'll go to site permissions. Okay. And in the site permissions, I will add grant permission to this site to the root site for the lawyers. I will add them as a read-only to the site. And I will add, of course, the other group, which is the marketing, as also a read-only. That's perfect. So that was on the root side. The rules are the same. So coming from, yeah. Vincal is asking, these users are coming from Active Directory. The answer is yes. These users are coming from the Active Directory, of course. I already added them. In the Office 365, you can add them manually. You need to add them manually, okay? So I'm not sure they're part of Active Directory or not, but anyway, in SharePoint, if you want to implement SharePoint, most likely you will store your user in Active Directory, but you can have custom locations. Like if you are a .NET developer, you will understand me. Like you can have a form-based authentication, or you can have a federated place, or yes, these users are in a cloud Active Directory. That's what Muawiyah is suggesting. Yeah, it seems and it does make sense actually. That's right. Okay, so that was the answer of your question, my friend. Yes, it's an Active Directory, but you can have the options are open for any place, any federated also authentication mechanism can be applied. Okay, that's perfect. So after adding those users to this place, so now we want to make sure that cases are, sorry, the marketing website is only accessible by the marketing team. So it's similar to the Windows. In Windows structure, if you want to add a new folder, okay, and we want to make sure that this folder is not accessible, the folder, when you create a new folder inside the folder, it will by default take the parent folder's permission set, unless you override this and break the inheritance on this folder to make sure that this folder has a unique permission compared to his parent. So now I'm in the marketing in the marketing site, okay. So I will go to site permission to see the site permission. As you can see, it is similar to the parent. So I say no, I don't want it similar to the parent. Stop inheriting permissions. So after I stop inheriting permissions, I can modify it whatever as I want. Okay. So Uh, I don't know why things are slow a little bit today. Okay, so we're still waiting this. I guess this session is not good for promoting the cloud idea because maybe it's the first time it's done like this. Come on. Okay. Anyway, let me try to open it again. Okay. Okay, I will log in using my user. Okay, that's perfect. So I will go to the cases website and I will manage again the permissions, people and groups, site permissions, and after site permissions, okay, I will go and remove the unwanted groups because I stopped inheritance. Okay, it seems it's not stopped till now. We stopped at this place. Okay, that's perfect. So inheritance now is stopped. Go back to the site permissions, and as you can see, we can remove just the users that we don't want. So I can remove those users, and not only those default users, I will also remove the lawyers. The lawyers are not interested in the marketing stuff, so they should not be they should not see this website. Okay, so I only have the owners, which is the administrator, and of course the marketing. How much is the percentage of Office 365 implementations in UAE approximately? I don't know. Your questions is difficult, my friend. Does anybody know how much implementation of S365 in the UAE? Look, let me tell you something. For example, the cloud in the government is not that common because they think that it's compromising the security. In the private sectors, I personally till now I don't know how much implementation of Office 365. But for example, our group, our website is on Office 365. So at least we have our case, like our UAESharepoint user group, as an example. Okay? And the example that you're seeing is also considered an example. That's it. Okay. That's regarding the adding those users. So now only the marketing can see the cases website. Okay. Now I will go back to the site settings, and sorry, I will go back to the cases website, and I will make sure that the users, I will make sure that the lawyers have a full control over this website, and the marketing has read only. Okay, it seems I did it in the wrong way. Okay, so I want to add the grant permission to the lawyers over the cases. Lawyers. Okay, I will give the lawyers a contribution, contribute, and I will give the marketing. Look how easy and flexible to fix your thing. View, read only. Okay. Okay, and I will go back to my site and go to the marketing, and I will remove the lawyers from this place. Okay. As you can see, the site is not that branded. Okay, but anyway, any branding is we did already the branding before. Okay, so I will go and edit stuff. As you can see, I can remove the unneeded users, remove all the users except the owners, and I will grant access for marketing team as a contributor. Contributor means that they can add edit delete items to this site. Okay, that's perfect. So now I did a full management for my site. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Before I leave this site, I just want to make sure that I want to go I want to add the WordPress website to the homepage, WordPress add-in, which is the custom functionality that's required from me. I will edit page. I will go to insert and put the cursor here and say add up part. I will see the WordPress reader application here inside my in the list of parts that's available, and I will add them. As you can see now, this is a custom functionality. It's a free application that I downloaded and I configured in the previous lab. And as you can see, now things are very clear. So all the lawyers, when they enter this website, they will be able to review pictures. In addition to this, they can scroll down and review the important articles about their stuff and their work, which is the requirements that was proposed. Okay, so that we finished the functionality of the WordPress. Okay, so now we want to go also to see the marketing. Okay, in the marketing, there is in my client web part. I will add some another articles, which is I will add new company, for example, here. For example, I will add whatever, like what's a company like XYZ company, which is which the location is in Sharjah, for example, and it's in charge of trading, and the focal point is Sahar. Okay, and this company is specialized in also XYZ. Okay, and so as you can see, here's two items. I want to have some control over the views to group items or add items. So they asked me to group items per focal point. So I can create a new view. What's the view? It's about reorganizing the structure of the items in this list. I will create standard view, and as you can see, I will call this per focal point view. So I will have, as you can see here, I will select columns. I want to display, which is title, location, whatever. I can add created ID. I can have sorting. I can have filtration if I want, and I can have group by. I will use the group by to group by focal point. Okay, let us say okay. Let us see how now they are grouping by. So the clients that are managed by Reem are grouped under the same group. The clients that are managed by Sahar will be grouped under the same group. So if I add another company like BMW, for example, and I will it's in Dubai and it is in trading, okay, or I will make it also information technology. Also doesn't make sense. Sahar, for example, is also in charge of this company. So as you can see, Sahar has two companies and Reem has one company. So this is also another nice feature, which is working with views. Okay. Finally, before I close this demo, I want to also get back to the home page and make sure that the announcements, you remember the announcement list? I want to add some couple of announcements. I will see site contents, and in the official announcements, I will add one announcement, which is, for example, the dress code policy. Okay, there is some new dress code policy for this company, so I can add it here. This is the body and this is the title of the announcement. Here is the expiry date. So I want this announcement to be on the home page until 20, which is for 3 days. So if we go back to the home page, as we can see, we can edit this page and add a new announcement. So let us click on edit, add a web part. I will put the mouse in the place where I want to add it, and insert web part. I will add new official announcement instance on the home page so that it will display the announcement. Perfect. Look how easy is this. So I have the announcements list on the right, as you can see, where there is the unexpired events are there. Okay, that's perfect. So that was regarding organizing my site. So let us just log in using one of the users. So I will log in using, just I forget to sign up. Okay, that's perfect. I will log in with Yazan. Yazan is part of the lawyers team. So if I go here, I will note that Yazan doesn't have access to the cases. You remember, sorry, doesn't have, there was a marketing site here, but he doesn't have access here, so he will not see this website. This is called UI trimmed way of doing things. So he can see the announcement, he can see things, he can go to the cases, he can go to the documents, upload the new documents, as you can see. Okay, I forget to check in the stuff. I will upload some document maybe, whatever. Okay, as you can see, he can upload documents. Okay, that's perfect. That was okay. That was my suggestion. Okay, guys. So before we continue, now we're done from the. We still have two quick demos, but before that, I want to just ask you another poll. Can we just all participate in the coming poll? Okay, guys. I have a question for you. How many hours do you prefer the session duration to be? I asked you this question at the end so that you're feeling bored, so you will say as less as you can. Okay, guys, can you answer this question? Okay. Nice. Okay. There's a lot of people who want the session to be as long as it takes, which is good. There's some lazy people that want it one less than 1 hour. Okay. Okay. So most of the guys ask for 50. Okay, that's perfect. Thank you. Fadil has Fahad Al Musa has a question. Do you want me? Okay. Okay, Fahad, you have the mic with you. You can speak, Fahad. فهد تفضل، حاب تحكي ولا حاب تسأل؟ Okay, Fahad, go with your question. Okay, you're asking about Nintex. Actually, it's okay. It's out of our scope, but if you want, you can. I have a good experience about Nintex and workflow engines generally. So you can drop me an email if you want to ask about Nintex, my friend. Fahd is asking about Nintex. Nintex is one of the third parties that used to do some workflows over SharePoint. It's a very powerful and simple tool, and the price is considered cheap considered to the other available tools. We can discuss this offline, my friend. Okay. Okay, that's perfect. So I will close this poll right now. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, guys. So the document was unchecked out. Okay. So that was regarding the demo. Okay. So now, as you can see, we're done from organizing our content. We still have another 10 minutes to do the rest demos. Okay, guys. Now share. Sharing is one of the very nice features about. Okay, Fahad, I will send you my mail, but you can ask the questions, and there's at the beginning of this slide we will upload the slide. There is an email for the community, which all the community will check this email, so you have more chances to get more answers. So you can just get this from the slide. Anyway, I will send you this email. Okay, my email is Jamil_. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, guys. So in the share, the sharing is the main idea of having SharePoint to increase the collaboration and increase productivity of the people. So social computing feature in SharePoint server and Office 365 allow you to share ideas, site, content, people, and organization. As you can see, here, you have something similar to Facebook. This guy is proposing some ideas. There is some likes, some replies over this. You can always share documents with people inside your organization, share documents with people outside your organization. The sharing feature is amazing. Now we will see a demo of sharing feature. As the guys, when they asked me in the as I'm an administrator of the law firm, they asked me that people need to have a way to share and collaborate with each other. So, for example, I'm looking in using Yazan now. Yazan is one of the lawyers, and he's a smart one. He wanna write some articles or share his knowledge. So as you can see, I have my own site. And when I click on new feeds, it will take me to Yazan's site. Let us see how Yazan's site looks like. This is like my own profile, okay? So as you can see, Yazan here is his profile, his picture. He can, for example, Yazan is following 5 documents and it's following 4 people. You know, following concept is like the concept of Twitter, like if anybody from the other Yazan now is following 4 people. What do you mean by following? He's following Reem and Jamil and Imad. So if Reem and Jamil do anything, he will receive a notification. Okay. So Yazan now wanna write a new blog article. Okay. He's a very smart lawyer and he likes to share his knowledge with other guys. So he's wanna write an article about sharing about political cases. He has some good knowledge that he want to share with everybody. So, as you can see here, he wrote this article. It's a very long article, and the category of this article is idea and publish it. This is inside his site, okay? So that's perfect. And yes, and of course, if we go to the site, he's interested in following some document. You know, there is some cases that he's not in charge of doing, but he's interested to do it. So this case is he likes to follow this case, so that as you can see, anybody modify this case he will receive a notification in his feedback. Okay, and he's also interested in following other people. Like, for example, he wanna follow Muawiyah, the SP test. So he's following those guys. So if Muawiyah did anything, he will get things in his new feeds. Okay. Okay, guys. So I will log in with Reem and to see what Reem will get if she log in and see Yazan. Let's see. Okay. So after Yazan posts his new article, he said at Reem, as you can see, and at Jamil, I have wrote a nice article about political. Political is a term that I can tag cases. Please have a look and let me know. That's his status. He mentioned Reem and mentioned Jamil and he adds some hashtag. So if we go back and log in by Reem or by Jamil, let us log in by Jamil. Okay. I will log in by Jamil. Okay. To see my, as you know, I'm a lawyer, so I will go to my site. Okay, and see my new fields. Mentions. I have seen 2 mentions. So as you can see here, Yazan mentioned me. Reem and Jamil can see politics. So I can, for example, go to Yazan. Okay, he seems to be an interesting guy. I will follow him. Okay. Okay, so Yazan posted something here. Let me see what he's doing, dealing with political cases. So I will read his article. Oh my God, it's a nice article. So I like this article. I give it a like. So anybody, I will see in my feeds that I like this article. And I'm really amazed of this, of what you have wrote. Please keep it up. I can write a comment, as you can see. So if I go to my feeds, I will see that people will see that what's going on. So Yazan has mentioned me, and I'm now following Yazan. And as you can see here, and you know, that it appears that I liked his page and so on. So that's the social media platform that we're talking about in this case. So hopefully everything is clear. If you have any question, please let me, don't hesitate to ask. Okay. The final thing, which is to make sure that we're done because we're out of time. The final thing is the discover. After we see how we build, we manage, we organize, and we share. Finally, we'll see how discovering things. So after doing all these amazing features and all this good work, we will see now how we can search over things. So we can have search, and search is used to be in 2010 in a product called Fast Search, which is the best enterprise search ever. So this search engine, I will answer you, Venkat, but just let me, there's another question also here. I will answer, but after finishing this. So as you can see, you can search and you can see a lot of nice features. Let us go and search. Let us try it. Okay. So yes, and now Jamil is logging in here. So he will, I want to search, for example, in everything. I want to search for political. Hopefully it is indexed. I can search from everywhere, as you can see. Here is the places that mentioned by political, as you can see. Let me try to search for something better, maybe immigration. Now, I want to try to get something that get us some documents. Okay, that's perfect. As you can see, I tried to search on this thing. As you can see, there is the right view here is explaining things, as you can see for me. There is a very nice, amazing thing, which is if you want to search for something like a Word document, you can see a preview of the Word document in your right hand. If you search for a PowerPoint presentation, you will see the presentation in your right hand. Not only this, it will take you to the right slide where you find this this exact match, exact word, which is really amazing. And this one is opening with PowerPoint web app. So as you can see, I'll search for UAE word. So here is the UAE, and so on. So it's amazing thing. I can filter result type, like I just want to share only PowerPoint. I can scope the search only for Word documents or whatever. I can also modify the date of, I just want to search for things that modified today. I want to search for things that modified 1 year ago. So it is a very nice thing. I want to just see documents that modified by Imad. So this document is modified by Imad and so on. Okay? So that's the nice thing about the search. So that was the final demo. Okay. Thank you guys for attending. Now I'm done from my demo. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I was happy to give you this session. Actually, it was an amazing session in terms of interaction, in terms of number of attendees. Please feel free to ask me any question now, or you can leave, or if you can, of course, send me an email to. Okay. Here's a question. What about people shares? Let us see about people shares. It's also something that's nice. Suppose I wanna search for yes. Okay. If I see there is something, it's people name Yazan, he will give me a people search. You know, he's connecting me with Yazan, as you can see. So and you know, here is also the people who Yazan is following this guy, and I can go and see Yazan, as you can see. So search is not only about documents or things. You can also search people, as you can see. You can search people from their profile information. You can you know, searching people is very powerful. Actually, you can search for also the phonetics. If you type the name which is not exactly matching the name, like especially in the Indian names and Arabic names, there is some less matching. So it will help you to give you some phonetics search and so on. Okay, that was a good question. Actually, thank you for this question. That was about the people search. Here's another question: how to avoid critical data not to show in the search? Yeah, the search is security aware. So, for example, if I am logging in with I'm logging in with Reem. Okay, if you remember, I only can have read access over the cases. So if I search something related to the cases, I will get the results only for a read only. If I don't have access to this thing, if, for example, if I log in with Yazan, Yazan is a lawyer, he's not allowed to see the marketing material. Okay? So when I log in with Yazan, you will see that I will not be able to see the records that I've added, which is Abu Dhabi and Cubic Art and stuff like this. Okay? So I will log in with Yazan to show you. And I will search on the all over portal. As you can see, I can just see the cases. So if I search, for example, for Cubic. Cubic is a word which was in the list. If you remember, I added to the list of clients. I can't see it because I don't have permission over it. So the search is aware, it's security aware. Is that okay for this question? I can search. Okay. Here is another question. How can you integrate with other social networks like Twitter or Facebook? Okay. There is more than one way of doing the integration. This question is a little bit wide, but just before I answer, I just want to make sure that the social media it's a social media which is for the SharePoint. And if you want to add another stuff like connectors, there is a lot of apps on the store. I can go and check with you some apps. There is a lot of nice apps for doing things, a lot of options for integration in the App Store that you can do. Let me show you, for example, some stuff. For example, suppose I want to connect my Facebook or my Twitter. Let me add a new app. Okay, I will try to search for Twitter. Sorry, add a new app. Add a new app. I will search for Twitter. I can't find. Okay, there's no Twitter added, so I will go and search for SharePoint Store. If you see SharePoint Store, okay, I will select the language. Here is the applications that there in the Twitter. Here is, by the way, a connector for SharePoint with Facebook and Twitter. Let us see what can I do. I will get something free. Okay, I will add this. Okay, this for example, here is an application which is connecting more than one social media stuff. Let us see what this application do. Enter your Facebook, Twitter, and whatever. And here I'll continue. I'm getting details for you for the new app. Okay, so this app is added to the Justice website. Trust this app. And you can, and as you can see, there is always, if there is something which is not available on SharePoint, you can go through apps, you can develop your own apps, and so on. Okay? Here is the app is adding. Is that answering your question, my friend? Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, guys, that's all for today. If you have more questions, please feel free to send me an email on my on the UAE spot. I will just display the slide again, which has our email. Where I can find SharePoint 2013 learning tutorials. Just a second. Here is the website. Of course, if you have more questions, go to UAESpot and ask it. Okay. Of course, regarding the SharePoint, where I can find SharePoint 2013 learning tutorials, of course, web is full of UAE of SharePoint tutorials. There is a lot of nice books. Of course, there is the official place of documentation of the product, which is done MSDN. There is also the technical website. There is a lot of articles and a lot of nice. You can go to YouTube. There's a lot of videos. There is a lot of podcasts also. So if you go to our Facebook page, and if you like our Facebook page, we will keep you posted with the latest details about the nice tutorials and free stuff and maybe cheap stuff to learn and go ahead with SharePoint. And of course, you're always welcome to ask our community. Okay. Another question. Healthcare, construction, education, automobile. Actually, SharePoint is okay. SharePoint is very common. You know, it's actually I'm maybe personally I've done like maybe 25 projects. It's in different industry. You know, there is no similar projects or for the same industry. It's fit for everything. Okay. So it's not limited to any industry. It's an enterprise. It's good for small, medium, and enterprise projects because the business is the same. The business concept is the same everywhere. Okay, that was the answer of where is the domain of the maximum implementation, SharePoint implementation. That's it. Okay. So is there any other questions, guys? Okay. Thank you, Maria. Thanks everybody for attending. Thank you very much. How many companies are using SharePoint in UAE? I guess most of the companies they're using SharePoint, but I'm not that good in statistics, my friends. What's the job? Okay, Venkel, you have a lot of questions, my friend. Can we discuss? I will send you my email. If you have anything, just drop me an email and we will go. Okay? Just want to close this session because we need to be committed to the time. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for attending and have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you, Fahad.